Welcome to today's video, guys, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can choose the correct supply or demand zone in order to take your trades from. So as you can see on screen, supply and demand zones, we will need these three rules. So these three rules here, some of them are mandatory, but some of them are just a confluence, and you don't need every single one of these, but the more you find, the better. So the ones we need to see happen is number one, so needs to break some form of structure. We need to see this at all times. We also need to see an engulfed candle in order to use that as a demand or a supply zone. And one that is just an added confluence is a sweep of liquidity, and all this shows is that price has taken out orders and then gone in its chosen direction. So this is just an added confluence to your supply and demand zones, but you need to see a break of structure, and you also need to see an engulfed buy to sell or sell to buy. And if you don't know what a buy to sell or sell to buy is, I'll show you in a minute on the charts. So how we look at supply and demand zones, it's very simple. So the last bullish candle before a move down for a supply, or the last bearish candle before a move up for a demand. You can also use ranges, and like I said, I'll show you that in a minute on the chart. So if I just delete this and we come down. So as you can see, today I am on Euro US dollar on the 15-minute chart. And this applies to all time frames, but for me personally, I use the 15-minute chart predominantly for my supply and demand zones. I also use the 4-hour chart, but like I say, this does work on all time frames. So for example, what you'll see is that obviously we come down, we've come up here, and then what have we done? We've come down, we've got a bearish candle, and then we get a bullish candle. So what you can do here is you can take your tool, you could use this all sell to buy range. So this whole sell to buy range is technically your demand zone, but what I would do personally is I would refine it all the way down to this candle here, because as you can see, what has happened here is we've come down, and this is where the demand has stepped into the market. As you can see, it's left clear imbalance just above this demand zone right here, and this is where the market has exploded to the upside. So this right here is a perfect demand zone. What else has it done? It's come down and it's taken liquidity from below this low right here. So it's taken liquidity, it's broken structure to the upside by breaking this high right here. So it's taken liquidity, it's broken structure, and it's also engulfed. So what an engulfed buy to sell or sell to buy is, so in this example right here, as you can see, we've got this candle right here, and then this candle, the next candle, closes above this candle. So that's all it means when I say an engulfed buy to sell or sell to buy. So this has all the three confluences that we look for in a demand or supply zone. It's taken liquidity, it's broken structure, and it's also engulfed. So if we move on now and see if there are any more good examples. So I'll just delete that right here. What we can do is, as you can see, we are coming up, and what we've got here is we've got a big sort of range. So what do you know with ranges? With ranges, there is liquidity resting above, below, and what you will see now is we've come down. Let's just see what the lows are of this. So the low is 99820, and this is 99824. So this hasn't taken liquidity, but what you'll see is that we've got a candle right here, and this would be our demand zone. This demand zone is respected and it pushes up to the upside, so you could take trades within here. So what has this demand zone here specifically got going for it? So as you can see, I've marked the bearish candle right here. What's the reason of marking this bearish candle? The reason is that this candle right next to it, so if I just mark it up, this little bullish candle right here is an inside bar to this candle here. You could mark this one, but for me personally, I will take this whole bearish candle. So what has this demand zone done? As you know, it has not swept liquidity, as we've already seen. It's not swept liquidity, but what else has it done is it's broke structure. It's broken all this structure right here. So we've come up, we've messed around a little bit, and then price has exploded to the upside, breaking this structure, and it's also an engulfed sell to buy. So it's got two of the confluences that we like to see. So the most important ones, like I said before, is a break of structure and an engulfed sell to buy or buy to sell. So it's got them confluences that we want. And then as you can see, what happens is we come back down, we tap in, and then we move to the upside. So like I said before, you could take trades from this section right here. So right here, as you can see, we have got an impulse up in price, and then we move down correctively back towards, this sort of demand zone right here. And then what you'll see, if I zoom in, we get this demand zone right here, which is a very, very nice demand zone. What happens here is we sweep liquidity below these lows. So we sweep liquidity by taking out this low specifically. So we take out the orders from here. We then explode to the upside. As you can see, this candle, the next candle here, closes above this one. So it's an engulfed sell to buy. It engulfs this candle right here. So that's a demand. And what happens is we do break a form of structure. So we come up, we break here. We also break right here. We break right here, and not quite up here, but it's broken structure down here. So it's got all three confluences that we like to see. And if we just drag this demand zone over and just see what happens, as you can see, this demand zone is respected. So you could come down and you could take trades around here within the demand zone. So as you can see, it's respected very nicely. And that's just the premise and the whole idea behind supply and demand zones. If you stick to those three rules, you will be able to, pick out the most high probable supply and demand zones. And yeah, if this video did help you out, guys, please leave a like on today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.